Fishing hooks are available in a range of different sizes and styles designed to catch a broad range of different fish. Let's start by looking at hook size. The size of the hook is based on two factors. 1. The overall length of the shank, and 2. The gape, which refers to the gap between the shank and the shaft. Hooks are assigned a number which refers to their size. The larger the number, the smaller the size of the hook, up to a point. This means that a size 22 hook is tiny, whilst a size 6 hook is relatively large. This system is pretty straightforward and works well until you reach a size 1 hook. The next size up from a size 1 hook is a 1/0, then a 2/0, and so on. Realistically, the largest hook you'll ever find is a 10/0, which is big enough to catch a shark on. Generally, the largest hook you'd ever need when fishing in freshwater is a size 1. For this reason, some anglers consider hooks that are sized 1 and below as freshwater, and any hook that's sized 1/0 and above as saltwater hooks only. This simplifies the system somewhat. The sizes are relatively standardized, so a size 6 hook will generally always have a shaft that's about 5/8 to 7/8 of an inch long. However, some hooks are longer or shorter than is standard for that particular size. For example, a size 6 hook that's denoted as being 2 times short means that it's a normal size 6 hook with the same gape, but it has a shaft that is the length of a hook 2 times smaller. So the length of the shaft would be equal to that of a size 4 hook instead. Whilst hooks of a certain size will always be similar, it's important to remember that there is no benchmark. What this means is that hook sizes may differ slightly depending on the manufacturer. So a size 6 hook from one manufacturer may differ to a size 6 hook from a different manufacturer. Even if it does differ slightly, it will only be by a tiny margin. The size of hook you should use depends on two main factors. 1. The size of the fish you are trying to catch, or more specifically, the size of its mouth. And 2. The size of the bait that you're using. For example, if you're using live minnows as bait, then you clearly require a much larger gape on your hook than if you were fishing with earthworms, and therefore you'll need a much larger hook. It's important to remember that you can always catch both big and small fish with a small hook, but you can only catch big fish with a big hook. Lots of hooks are barbed. This means that there's a small metal barb just below the point of the hook. This metal barb prevents the hook from exiting back out of the fish's mouth, and it's also somewhat controversial. This is because they are more likely to cause permanent damage to the fish. As a result, lots of waters have banned the use of barbed hooks. Part of the reason that these hooks cause more damage to the fish is because if a fish breaks away with a barbed hook in its mouth, it must wait for the hook to rust off, instead of it just dropping out eventually, as is the case with barbless hooks. Now that we understand the hook sizing system, it's worth looking quickly at a few of the most popular types. We're going to discuss 3 of the most common hook types. For a more in-depth look at other hook styles, take a look at the link in the description. The majority of hooks are made from a form of steel, ranging from pure iron to stainless steel. Saltwater hooks are usually made from a rust-resistant material. This is because saltwater rusts metal a lot faster than freshwater does. However, it is important to remember that stainless steel hooks won't rust in your tackle box, but this also means that they won't rust in the fish's mouth either. If a fish is hooked deep in its throat, some fishermen will cut the line, leaving the hook lodged in the fish's throat. This is a problem, particularly if the hook is made from stainless steel, as it means it won't break down quickly and the fish may not survive. A disgorger is a great tool that will remove the hook from the fish quickly and easily, even if the hook is lodged deep within its throat. Siwash hooks. Siwash hooks have a characteristically long shank with a straight eye. These two factors combine to ensure that they sit very well on lures. Because of this, they make great choices when lure fishing. Siwash hooks are commonly used on single hook baits, such as spinner baits, but they can also be a great alternative to the treble hook, which comes as a standard on spoons and other baits. They can also be a useful replacement to treble hooks when fishing hard baits or when fishing in an area which limits the number of hook points per lure. Circle hooks. Circle hooks get their name from their circular appearance. Mainly used when fishing live baits, Circle hooks increase hooking percentages and reduce the likelihood of gut hooking a fish. The main difference between a regular hook and a circle hook is displayed when a strike happens. Instead of requiring a hard set like most other hooks, a circle hook will slide out of the fish's throat and the barb only penetrates once the hook has reached the corner of the fish's mouth. At this moment, the hook point rotates and the hook sets itself. If you were to try and set the hook in a manner consistent with other hooks, it will almost always result in the fish being lost. Instead, what you need to do is crank down and apply steady pressure. Octopus hooks. Octopus hooks have short, curved shanks, although not quite as severe as circle hooks. Octopus hooks are mostly used when bait fishing and when a low hook weight and size is desired. These hooks are great for hooking worms, maggots and leeches. This hook type has also spawned a number of different variations, with the mosquito hook being the most popular variant. Hopefully you've now got a much better understanding of the fishing hook sizing system, as well as some of the most popular fishing hook styles. For more information and for a more in-depth look at other fishing hook styles, check out the link in the description.